to the old me. In this big town, I'm still lonely. Sometimes I wanna burn it down, but there would be nobody left to hold me. What if I screamed at the top of my lungs, acting like I had a baby? Then the world would notice that I'm not okay. I'm so sick of people acting like they see no evil. If it ain't that kind of problem, they just look away. Cause they can't relate. Emotional Novocaine, like painting on a smiley face, on a bunch of mannequins. Wanna share my mental, but it's not that simple. Cause they're gonna judge me, even if they love me, love me, love me. Just trying to have a good time, but I'm always the bad guy, yeah. I try to say that I'm fine, but I'm such a bad, bad lie. Bad lie. Losing sleep, losing me. Guess I'm just hooked on the feeling. Hella deep, need to breathe. Pain in my thoughts on the ceiling. I've been thinking about jumping off the deep end. I've been stuck inside the crib all weekend. Eyes red, man, I think I'm low-key starting to see things, but I don't wanna see nobody but the weed man. Cause they can't relate. Emotional Novocaine, like painting on a smiley face, on a bunch of mannequins. Wanna share my mental, but it's not that simple. Cause they're gonna judge me, even if they love me, love me, love me. Just trying to have a good time, but I'm always the bad guy, yeah. I try to say that I'm fine, but I'm such a bad, bad lie. Bad lie. Who could ever love a bad, bad, bad lie? Who could ever love a bad, bad lie? Bad lie. How could anybody ever love a bad lie? How could anybody ever love a bad lie?
Hey y'all, hey Carla, please be careful while you're driving, baby girl. Please be careful. We're just gonna get into it. No sound. Oh gosh, okay, let's see. Sounds good now? Okay, thank you, baby. All right. So I'm just gonna go and get into it. I left a poll up on what you guys may want me to talk about again. Today is what? Tuesday, probably on Thursday. And it's between schizoaffective disorder and bipolar. Again, two diagnoses that I have and that I do know a lot about. All right. So I'm going to do this and try to make this as interesting as possible. I know it's kind of boring, but because a couple of you guys asked for it, here I am, and I'm going to do this. So what we're going to talk about tonight is going to be dissociative disorder. Okay. Please, you guys, if you're listening in, you can join my chat. It's open for anybody. This is information for everybody. I don't care whether you mad, glad, happy, or sad. Y'all can come in and participate, okay? All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. All right, thanks, baby. I'm going to share the screen, and we're going to get into the dissociative disorder, okay? So that's what we're going to talk about first. I had to do a couple of testing because for some reason my stuff was not wanting to work properly. I was going through the same crap that I went through the other time. Like, it was ugh. What I'm going to pop out my chat so I can see you guys who are in here talking. So go ahead and pop this out. And we're just going to go ahead and get into it. Okay, Carla, can you put a 1 in the chat, baby? If you can, let me know if you can see the screen now that I learned how to pop this chat out. So make sure that you can see it for me, please. And then we can just get started. Can you see the screen, Carla? Okay, thank you, baby. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about dissociative disorders. It's a lot of different dissociative disorders, but like I said, tonight we're going to talk about just one, okay? And that is dissociative disorder. I'm going to go ahead and give a background about what this is, a little bit of treatment, some support, and then I'll go ahead and give you guys my story with dealing with DID. Hi, Remy. How are you doing? Hope you're having a great day, baby girl. Okay. Now, dissociative disorders are characterized by an involuntary escape from reality, characterized by a disconnection between thoughts, identity, consciousness, and memory. People from all age groups or racial, ethnic, and socioeconomic backgrounds can experience a dissociative disorder. Okay. Up to 75% of people experience at least one depersonalization, derealization episode in their lives. And I know that these are words that they're medical terms, but I'll give you guys my, the novice term, the way that I understand it after I'm done. Okay. With only 2% meeting the full criteria for chronic episodes, which is me. So DID is very, very rare, and a lot of you guys may know it by multiple personality. Okay. A lot of you guys may be familiar with it through that term, multiple personality, but they decided that that term was a little bit too vague, so they switched it to DID. Okay. Because a lot of people mix those up, but they're actually the same. Okay. Women are more likely than men to be diagnosed with the dissociative disorder. Yeah, dummy terms, Remy. You're right. Dummy terms. Shit. The symptoms of dissociative disorder, and from now on, I'm just going to call it DID, y'all. Okay. The symptoms of DID usually first develop as a response to a traumatic event, such as abuse or military combat. To keep those memories under control, stressful situations can worsen symptoms and cause problems with functioning in everyday activities. However, the symptoms of a person experience will depend on the type of dissociative disorder that a person has. Okay. Treatment for dissociative disorders often involves psychotherapy and medication and a lot more. And I'm going to show you guys a video of a treatment that I have received, maybe I think in my lifetime, 6 times. Okay. Though finding an effective treatment plan can be difficult. Hi, Lady K. Thank you for coming in, baby girl. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a great day and evening. Treatment for dissociative disorders are often involve psychotherapy and medication. Though finding an effective treatment plan can be difficult, many people are able to live healthy and productive lives. Again, that's many people are able to live healthy and productive lives with treatment. Let's make sure we put that on there. A person who lives with DID like myself, we can live healthy and productive lives with treatment. I'm not talking about just weed treatment. I'm not talking about just medication. Okay. We have to have treatment, and I mean thorough treatment, psychotherapy. Sometimes we get put under hypnosis. So a lot of different things because DID is so difficult to treat. Okay. Symptoms. Significant memory loss of specific times, people, and events. When you guys hear a lot of people talking about what happened in their lives, whatever traumatic event that may happen in their lives, we have a lot of problem. And if anybody in the chat can agree, we have a lot of problems remembering specific times. We also have a lot of hard times remembering specific events. When it comes to me and people, I have a hard time remembering names, but I'm very good at remembering faces. Okay. My most difficult time is specific times and specific events, mainly what happened in between those times. Like I can remember what happened at 8 o'clock, but I may not have remembered what happened between 12 and 3, if that makes any sense. Okay. Out of body experiences, such as feeling as though you are watching a movie of yourself. A lot of you guys may understand it and call it deja vu. However, when a person like me who suffers from DID, that is a flashback. Okay. Depending on that flashback, it will either ruin your day or it will cause you to have some type of uncomfortability, depending on what that memory is. Mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, and thoughts of suicide. You guys already know my situations with suicides. A sense of detachment from your emotions or emotional numbness. That's me. I detach myself from emotions very, very well. I remember saying in an upload a couple of days ago that I could see someone get hit by a car and wouldn't even care. Right? That's me detaching myself from my emotions. And I can also be very emotionally numb. A lack of sense of self-identity. A lack of self-identity. I'm going to talk about that with you guys as well. Because, again, I suffer from that. The symptoms of this DID depend on the type of disorder that has been diagnosed. And there are 3 types of DID, okay? Dissociative amnesia, which the main symptom is difficulty remembering important information about oneself. Now, I bet one of you guys are probably thinking, how do you forget important information about yourself? It's possible, and we do. I'm glad you're speaking on this topic so people can have a better understanding of the difference in mental. Right, Carla, and thank you for asking me too. I appreciate you. I forget my children's birthdays sometimes, and I gave birth, right? I forget what days of the week I'm in. My main days that I kind of switch and don't remember what day of the week I'm in is either on a Tuesday or a Thursday. I get those days mixed up, meaning when it's Thursday, I'm thinking it's Tuesday. And when it's Tuesday, I'm thinking it's Thursday. And those days, if I go into a switch, I don't remember what I've done or what has been done or what has been said. Okay. Dissociative amnesia may surround a particular event, such as combat or abuse, or more rarely, information about identity and life history. The onset for an amnesia episode is usually sudden, and an episode can last minutes, hours, days, or rarely months or years. There is no average age, onset, or percentage, and a person may experience multiple episodes throughout life. Depersonalization disorder. This disorder involves ongoing feelings of detachment from actions, feelings, thoughts, and sensations, as if they are watching a movie. Depersonalization. Sometimes all other people and things may feel like people and things in the world around them are unreal. That's derealization. A person may experience depersonalization and derealization or both. Symptoms can last just a matter of moments or return at times over the years. Okay, so the average onset is at 16. However, when I was age 16, I wasn't even diagnosed with anything at 16. So I was just living my life like a scolding, not knowing that my bipolar and my DID had a lot to do with how long I stayed at jobs. It had a lot to do with how I interacted in relationships. It had a lot to do with whether I decided to end a relationship at the drop of a hat, whether I decided to detach myself from someone for no apparent reason, those type of things. Dissociative identity, formerly known as multiple personality disorder, which is the one that I can definitely talk about because this is the one that I have been diagnosed with, DID, right? This order is characterized by alienating between multiple identities. A person may feel like one or more voices are trying to take control in their head. Often these identities may have unique names, characteristics, mannerisms, and voices. People with DID will experience gaps in memory of everyday events, personal information, and trauma. Women are more likely to be diagnosed as they more frequently present an acute dissociative symptom. Men are more likely to deny symptoms and trauma and commonly exhibit more violent behavior. Rather than amnesia or vague states, this can lead to elevated false negative diagnosis. I'm going to talk about my DID. And I'm a little apprehensive of speaking on my DID, but at the same time, I know how YouTube works, and it is what the fuck it is. So I'm going to talk about it because I know that there is someone amongst us that may have DID and may be afraid to talk about it and may be afraid to introduce you to their multiples. Tonight, I will do that. This is a very big step for me because I've never, ever introduced a multiple on YouTube. I feel crazy doing this, but this is who I am. This is what you guys asked for, and this is what I'm going to do. Okay? I have 3 multiples. I will not tell you these 3 multiples names because I do not want my multiples being attacked on this fucking YouTube because that will cause me to get out of pocket because I do protect my multiples as well as they protect me. I developed my multiples at a very early age. You guys know my story. I'm not going to go back into that story of my life and my abuse. My multiples developed. I have one multiple that is very, very angry, very, very hateful, very, very mean, pure detachment. She detaches from everything and everyone, even my husband. This multiple is very controlling. This multiple, 9 times out of 10, you guys have heard. Okay. This multiple is my protector. She protects me from any feelings that I may have that I feel unsafe. She protects me when I'm feeling like I'm being attacked and I go into a shell of myself, which I'm talking now, which is me. she is a total opposite of what I am. This multiple came to play when I was stuck in crawl spaces or when I was being abused. When things like that have happened in my life, as far as my abuse, a lot of dates and a lot of times are missing, which goes back to what I said to you guys earlier about us not remembering events and dates. Another multiple that I have is the opposite of the first multiple. This multiple is very loving. She's very nurturing. She's very giving. She's a homebody. She likes to cook. She likes to clean. She's very loving. That part of me is very, very foreign to me. I'm still trying to get used to that part of me. Okay. Because with me, I feel like some of those things that she likes to do is very weak, if you understand what I'm saying. Another multiple is a young boy. Okay. This young boy has been through a lot of sexual abuse. I'm assuming from what I'm getting and what we're understanding through my therapy that Brooks was molested as well, and he was molested as a young boy would be molested, if that makes any sense to you guys. That's about as much as I feel like divulging right now. If I feel like I want to get into more, I will. But as of right now, I have to respect my multiples and stop it there. Okay. And again, that was a big step for me to even share that. But it is what it is. And I will move on. Okay. Diagnosis. Doctors diagnose DID based on review of symptoms and personal history. A doctor may perform tests to rule out any physical conditions that can cause symptoms such as memory loss and a sense of unreality. For example, head injury, brain lesions, tumors, sleep deprivation, intoxication. I've been through all of that. I went through sleep analysis on why I couldn't sleep at night, why I would get up wandering through the house, why I would try to get out of the house, why I would be sitting in my car and not going anywhere. There were times when I was not even allowed to drive because I got into my car one night. All I remember is packing a bag, getting in my car, and driving and waking up somewhere in a hotel room and didn't even remember how I got there, or even when I got there. Living with DID, multiple personality, is very time consuming. It's dangerous. It's dangerous for the person who suffers from it more than it is for the people that are around. So I would love for people to stop with that misconception that people with DID or schizoaffective disorder, which is not schizophrenia, I will talk to you guys about that at a later date, that we are dangerous to you. 9 times out of 10, we are a danger to ourselves. Okay. If physical causes are ruled out, a mental health specialist is often consulted to make an evaluation, and those evaluations are very, very long. You will not get diagnosed with DID overnight. Okay. If you do, in one session, he may want to think about getting a different therapist. All right. Many features of DID can be influenced by a person's cultural background. In the case of DID and dissociative amnesia, patients may present with unexplained non-epileptic seizures. Again, I suffer from seizures. I thought that I suffered from seizures because of a treatment that I'm going to show you guys, but it is just the way our brain works. I can't explain it. Doctors can't explain it. Okay, which is another reason why I am limited on driving and doing things that I like to do alone. I am a loner. I like to get into my car. I like to drive. I like to go places and do things on my own. I like to sit at the lake. I like to do a lot of things that my husband necessarily doesn't have the time to do, nor do I want him to. Again, I'm a loner. I like to detach myself in certain situations. And when I am limited to the things that I do because of DID, it makes it very hard for me to live a functioning life. Okay. Or be able to do the things that you guys can do. All right. Just because you guys want to do it. Paralysis or sensory loss. I've not experienced neither one of those, thank God, but the seizures, yes. In settings where possession is a part of cultural belief, the fragmented beliefs of a person who has DID may take from the form of spirits, deities, demons, or animals. Intercultural contact may also influence the characteristics of other identities. For example, a person in India exposed to Western culture may present with an alter who only speaks English. In cultures where highly restrictive social conditions, amnesia is frequently triggered by severe psychological stress, such as conflict caused by oppression. Lost my screen. Hold on. Okay. Finally, voluntarily induced states of depersonalization can be a part of meditative practices prevalent in many religions and cultures and should not be diagnosed as a disorder. You guys knew back in the day when people did not really know what DID was, what multiple personality was, it was automatically assumed that people who suffer from these things were being possessed by demons. I'm so glad that we are not in that century anymore, and people are now opening up to understanding what these illnesses are and what they entail. I do the same thing. I have to just for peace of mind to be right. Yes, yes, yes. Treatment. Like I said, it could be psychotherapy, such as cognitive behavior, dialectical behavior therapy, eye movement, which I've done, EMDR, which did not do a goddamn thing for me. Medication, such as antidepressants, can treat your symptoms and all that. Right now, there are related conditions, but I'm not going to talk about that right now because that is PTSD. And also borderline personality, which I will talk about later on in another update, and depression and anxiety. Now, what I want to share with you guys is this. Okay. I'm going to share with you a treatment that I have had to go through. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing this one. And we're going to go somewhere else. We're going to go somewhere else, y'all. Please bear with me. And we're just going to go ahead and play, y'all.
Electroconvulsive therapy, or ECT, is often called a treatment of last resort for patients who haven't had success with drug therapies, who have life-threatening psychiatric conditions, or who are suffering a catatonic state. ECT induces a brief seizure in a patient which resets the brain functions associated with some psychiatric disorders.
It's typically indicated for treatment-resistant psychiatric conditions, most commonly mood disorders or depression, but there are multiple types of depression, so it can also be used to treat bipolar depression.
The majority of ECT treatments are managed like outpatient procedures, and the patient is given general anesthesia.
When the patient's asleep, the stimulus is delivered, the seizure is monitored, they'll have just one seizure.
An electrical current is given to the brain, low enough not to harm the patient, but high enough to trigger a seizure. The treatment team can even touch the patient.
The thing that concerns patients the most is that they know that they will be having a seizure. They're concerned about what may be happening while they're either asleep or while they're having that seizure. And thanks to the anesthetic, it's very hard to tell. In fact, only way you can truly tell if they're having a seizure or not is to kind of monitor the motor activity and then monitor the EEG activity.
The patient awakens soon after and is monitored for a short while like any patient who has undergone general anesthesia. Within a half hour, they'll be discharged. In some cases, a handful of ECT treatments may be all that's needed to make medication therapy work. For other patients, regular recurring ECT treatments may be needed. In Morgantown for the WVU Health Report, I'm Dr. Raleigh Sullivan.
All right, y'all. So, yeah. So let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about that, y'all. So, yes, I have gone through ECT. As a matter of fact, like I stated to you guys before, I have done ECT numerous times. I have to say that I've gone through ECT, like I said, at least 6 and 7 times. The reason why I went through so many ECTs, my medication was not working. I spent the longest time I spent in hospital was 3 months. I had ECTs while I was there, and then I had to do outpatient ECT. The feeling that you have after ECTs, it's like you're in a fog. It's like you're moving in slow motion, because of course your brain has been fried. It helps a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It does help a little bit. Would I recommend anyone do ECT? Absolutely not, because the downside to that was I have very, very limited, like I said before, we have a hard time remembering who we are. We have a hard time remembering sense of self, okay, already with dissociative identity. We already have a hard time with remembering things like that, important things. When you have DID, in my situation, it took away a lot of my memory. It took a lot of my long-term memory away. To be honest with you, without photos, I would have lost a lot of memories of my childhood, the good ones. You know what's weird about dissociative identity, or what's weird with mental illness, period, in my case, is that I always can remember the bad shit. I can never remember the good shit. And I try. It's hard. And with ECT, it made it even harder for me. Okay. Would I do ECT again? For me, yeah, I probably would. If I get to a point where now we're getting into fall, right? Fall in the winter for me are my trigger months. Okay. I'm good in the summer. In the summer, I'm okay. I may have a few episodes, but I'm not bad to where I need to get admitted. I'm not bad to where I need my medication. I've been doing very well to where I have not had to take my medications, but that is not a good thing either. Please don't do that. Okay. What works for me may not work for you. All right. When you're taking so many pills every single day, you kind of want to back off that shit a little while. But when I get to this time of year, the first time you guys ever saw me put up a birthday video was last year. I don't celebrate my birthday too much. I don't ask for things because I don't want things. And in my mind, my birthday, it's not good memories for me. Okay. Birthday parties are not good memories for me. Therefore, I don't like my birthday too much. Okay. I'll go out and pretend because we're really good liars. I don't know if you guys heard that song that I played, and I may play it again. They call us bad liars. People with mental illness, we call ourselves good liars. And when I say a liar, we lie on how we're feeling. We lie on what we're thinking about. Because 9 times out of 10, a person with a normal mind wouldn't be able to handle it. If you people knew the things that I thought about on a daily basis, I don't think you would be able to handle it. It's not normal for people to have dark thoughts every single day. Okay? It's not. You may have a dark thought and within 20 minutes it's gone with a normal brain. With a brain like mine, it doesn't work that way. We know what happened with my grandson in November. My grandmother passed away. Her birthday's also on Christmas. So anybody that has had so much bullshit happen within that time frame of their life, you're just not going to be happy to celebrate that type of stuff. But I do it because I'm a good liar, because I have to do it. I have to put on a smiling face. I have to pretend like I feel good on those days because I don't want to bring nobody else down. I'm going to go back up to what Carla said. I saw what you said about Emily Rose, and it is true. Like, I get her. I get her outside of the demonic possession, because you definitely feel that. Like, for example, when I am about to go into a switch, okay, like I told you guys, I have 3. I went into a switch, and it took 2 police officers and my husband in my small house in the middle of my hallway to bring me down. Where that strength came from, I don't know. Where that anger came from, I don't know. It was just there. And I got so out of control that my husband couldn't handle it. So it's definitely that feeling to where people look at us as if this cannot be real. It can't be real. It is real. It's very real. And it has nothing to do with the devil. It has nothing to do with fucking religion. What it has to do with is our brain. Our brains are capable of doing extraordinary things. But it's also capable of destroying you as well. And if you suffer from what I talked about today and you're not getting any help, you are discrediting yourself and you're giving yourself a very, very bad disservice. What I've shared with you guys tonight, yeah, it's a fucked up ass life. It really is. When you do not get out and get the help, when you do not get out and research what you have, and most importantly, you need to be an advocate for yourself and mental health. You have to be. Do you realize that I went to a hospital and a doctor didn't even understand what DID was? It didn't have a clue. Hey, King Ty. Didn't have a clue. Our brain sends signals as to how strong we think we are. But like the saying says, we are what you think. Fact, believe you are. Exactly. But going back to the ECT, and y'all know I go back, I flip, I go back and forth. Okay, I'm sorry. It's just how I am. I be all over the place. Going back to the ECTs though, and will I do it again? Yes, I will do it again. Why I will do it again? Because I want to get sleep at night. I don't want to be walking out of my house at night. Okay. I don't want to get in my car and drive and come up and be somewhere where I have no clue how I got there. I don't want to go and run in the middle of the street. I don't want to go and find something to swallow, since people like to talk about me swallowing needles. Yes, I absolutely did. Do I remember doing those things? No, I don't. When you have alters, they do their own thing. An alter does not switch just at the top of the hat. We don't work that way. My one alter who is just very, very strong. When she comes through, I don't have that power to bring her back. I'm totally lost in the sauce and in the darkness when it comes to that altar. And as I stated, these are the months where it's very difficult for all of us. And I know my cycle, and I know my triggers. And I know that probably by the end of the year, I'll probably be in hospital because I just know me. Never underestimate someone's strength or weaknesses because you don't truly know how strong they are. Facts, Carla Babe. Mama, Dad, may I ask, do you have names for your alters? Yes, I do, Carla. I do. Yes, I do, Carla. And I will go ahead and give you those names. My very strong alter, the alter that protects me, her name's Lily. Another altar that I have that I told you guys about is the nurturing altar, the loving one, the wife, the mother, the friend. That's Sam. The small boy, his name is Brooks. Those are my 3 altars that we recognize. We've gone through enough treatment to know each other exists. When you first going into treatment for DID or multiple personality, your alters do not know of each other. You have to integrate with your alter. And I am still learning how to integrate with my alters so that when Lily does have an issue, I'm able to integrate with her. I'm able to figure out what it is that she needs to be able to get whatever she's feeling out, whether that is through writing, whether that is whatever it is that she needs to do, which 9 times out of 10 is she's very violent. So therefore, she needs to tear up something, she needs to kick something, she needs to hit something. Okay. Are there extra security precautions to stop you from leaving the house at night? Yes. At night, when I am home alone only, there is an extra key that I do not have access to. The only time that that key is in a lock is when my husband is home. Okay. If I'm home alone, it just depends on when it happens and how often it happens, if that makes any sense, because I can't live my life in like a prison. But he does tend to lock the doors and he does tend to take the key. Also, if I'm in an emergency, I have a way to let someone know that I'm in an emergency. So I'm not in here and there'll be a fire or anything like that. You guys don't have to worry about that. Another thing that he does is he does take control of my medications, because that is my weakness. My medications are my weakness. Okay. That's the one thing people should really learn about. What triggers them? Facts. So your alters are in the form of males. I have 2 females. Lily is a female. Samantha is a female. And Brooks is the male. They're all separate ages. Lily, it's kind of hard to decipher when she actually came to play. Okay. She has not yet to open up a lot in therapy, and it's not forced. I know a little bit more about Samantha and Brooks than I do know about Lily. I know when my husband is gone to work, I don't have access to my car keys. When he is gone to work, again, I don't have access to my medications. So if I'm feeling something going on with me, I ask him for my medications before he leaves. All right. Yeah, Samantha's a female. She's a female. I would say that without Sam, I would not have a romantic life. Without Sam being a part of my life, I would not be married. Without Sam being a part of my life, I would not be a mother. I would have to say that she's the better part of me. This may be too personal, but you hear voices even when no one is talking. Yes. The voices that I hear, Carla, are not outside voices for me. A lot of people, when they hear voices, they tell you guys that they don't recognize the voice. All my voices are internal, which means I know their voices. I know who is communicating. I don't have like some demonic entity that I can't relate to. Does that make any sense? If that makes any sense, Carla. It was definitely the difference between Emily Rose, Carla, and what I'm dealing with, because with Emily Rose, she was actually possessed. Why anybody would want to suffer through mental illness, what is beyond me. I understand why people don't talk about it. Even to this day in 2021, it's not talked about, especially not in the Black communities, in the Black families. I'm lucky to have my husband, but anybody else outside of my children, I was very quick to dissociate myself with family. Family, especially my part of the family, my stepfather's part of the family, are the type of people that live through monetary value. They live through what they can show you, their cars, their houses, my dad's vacation home, his boat. They don't talk about mental illness. They don't understand how a person can take 60 pills. In their minds, they consider that weak. And for me, and anybody else who has that type of toxic family, you need to get away from them because they're not doing you any good. Trying to talk to my stepfather to get him to see what he did to me, and yes, he did this to me. Was I born with depression? Probably. Probably, because my mother has depression. And depression is hereditary. It may skip someone, but it's in the family. 9 times out of 10, someone's going to have it. Was I born with DID? No. DID developed from abuse and trauma. Do I want to be this person? Am I happy with being dissociative? Am I happy for not having feelings for people, even my kids, at some time? I'm not happy with that. But I have to accept who I am. And the only thing that I can do to make myself better and live better is open up, talk about it, share it, and treatment. Don't let people tell you that treatment is wrong. I know we as Black people, I know what we talk about, and I know what our families are like. We don't talk about that. We don't do the abuse. We don't talk about mental illness. We don't talk about drug abuse. We push all that shit under the rug, and then look what it does to future generations. I think that was pretty much all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. If you have any more questions, I would be more than willing to talk about it. If you guys want to have a panel later on sometime when everybody is free, we can also do that. If you want to talk about what you're dealing with, if you have mental health, if you feel like you may think someone you know has mental health, it surrounds us all, right? You're welcome, Remy. Thank you for being so transparent, Mama Deb. There needs to be more content about these kinds of topics. Yes, Carla, and I'm trying. I really am. It's difficult. It's hard for all of us to come up with any type of content, but you know, we do need to talk about it. Everywhere in every family. We definitely need to talk about it. And we definitely hear it on the tube. Definitely hear it on the tube. Because there's so many different corners that we can go to, y'all. We can talk about the mental health when it comes to going into the hospital. And I mean going to the emergency room. We can talk about why, because once you are stigmatized, and it is stigmatized, even when you're in the hospital, you're stigmatized when you come into a hospital for so many mental illness issues. You're automatically stigmatized. Do you know how long I sit in an emergency room? Hours. I sit in an emergency room. Do I blame the hospital for what happened to me as far as my stomach is concerned? Absolutely. Because I feel, as a matter of fact, I know that if I was what they consider a normal patient and I did not have so much psychiatric issues, they would have took my pain seriously. You see, we who suffer with mental illness, we're not taken seriously until we do something to fuck somebody up or fuck ourselves up. And that shit right there needs to change. We are human, just like everybody else. We have emotions, thoughts, and fucking feelings, just like everybody else. We pay our bills, we pay our insurance, we take our meds, just like everybody else. Therefore, we should not be treated differently from anybody else. the first thing that comes out of a doctor's mouth when we are there for physical pain should not be, when was the last time you spoke to your psychiatrist? That should not be the first question that a physician, not a psychiatrist, should ask. These topics are needed because we, and yes, I said we, as people are quick to call people dumb, stupid, slow, and even their R word, not realizing that people with mental illness, mental health issues, and that plays a part of their actions. Facts, Carla. There was a story, I think in Texas. I may have the state wrong, but someone just executed a mentally ill prisoner. He was on death row for murder. I do believe he committed these murders in 1984. I can't remember his name, but I'll look it up. He has mental illness. He has things wrong with him. You can look at him and tell that he has things wrong with him. It's a very low IQ level. He has been diagnosed with mental illness. Do I think he deserved to die for those murders? See, that is when I have a disconnect, because I don't want to put it out here as if those of us who suffer from mental illness should get away with the fuck shit that some of us do. Absolutely not. We should be held accountable for what we do. Definitely. But there's levels to this shit. There's levels to this shit. I don't believe because he was considered to have an IQ of, I think, of 5 or 6 years old, he should not have been put to death. Should he have spent the rest of his life in prison? Absolutely, because he knew right from wrong. He knew what he did was wrong. He didn't understand the magnitude of what he did was wrong, and there's the difference. I definitely don't like hearing the fact that those of us who have mental illness can't own guns. Why not? Why can't we own a gun? It's very easy for me to go down the block and buy one. You're not keeping it out of my hands. Do I not, or do we not have the right to protect ourselves? Mom, Dad, please promise me you won't give up or stop doing lives like this, no matter how many people show up. Like, share, because these can help save. I promise I'm not going to stop. It's easy for me to talk about. It's easy for all of us to talk about things that we know about. It's just that, sometimes you think, do you guys really want to hear it? And that's enough for me. I don't care. As long as you guys are here and want to hear it, I'm here to give it. So I won't. I promise you. I may have a time when I might backslide a little bit, but I promise you. I got you. Those of y'all that want to hear it, thank you, King Ty. Thank you. But yes, I will. Because we definitely have to talk about it. And I want to talk about it because it gives me something to talk about. And hey, maybe if I do it more often, it'll push my channel out of this sector. Because that's what I want. I want it out of this sector. And I'm doing everything I can. I'm changing up a lot of shit within my studio to get it to catch different algorithms. Because it goes, needless to say, very tiring when people get up here, like Carla said, to speak their lives, tell their lives in order to help other people, and motherfuckers take it and slap it in your face as if it's something wrong or fucked up. And it's not. Can't nobody ever tell you that you're weaker than me if you can't get up on this motherfucker and tell where you fuck up at. What's so fucked up about your life that you are afraid for people to find out? What is it about your life that you have not even come to grips yet with? What is it? But as I was saying, yeah, we can take many, many different avenues just on this issue alone. And all the different fucking experiences that we have had dealing with mental illness, dealing with hospitals, dealing with medications, dealing with everything that has to do with that spectrum of mental illness. Don't forget to help the hashtags as well. That's right. Thank you. Oh, I'm not. Y'all already took them out. I already took them out. I'm not even reading them fucking comments. So yeah, I think that I have done enough. I'm getting a little aggravated, and I understand why, and I know why. And therefore, before I say anything or do anything stupid, we will go ahead and end that now because I'm being triggered on purpose. And that's something that I have to work on. So I want to thank you guys for coming through. And I want us to listen to this song one more time, y'all. And I want you not to just hear it, y'all. I want you to listen. Okay? Just listen.
My friends think they know me. They used to hold me. In this big town, I'm still lonely. Sometimes I wanna burn it down. There'll be nobody left to hold me. What if I screamed at the top of my lungs, acting like I had it? Baby, then the world will notice that I'm not okay. I'm so sick of people acting like they see no evil. If it ain't that kind of problem, they just look away. Cause they can't relate. Emotional Novocaine, like painting on a smiley face. I wanna put some mannequins. Wanna share my mental, but it's not that simple. Cause they're gonna judge me, even if they love me. Just trying to have a good time, but I'm always the bad guy, yeah. I try to say that I'm fine, but I'm such a bad lie. Losing sleep, losing me. Guess I'm just hooked on the feeling. Hella deep, need to breathe. Pain in my thoughts on the ceiling. I've been thinking about jumping off the deep end. I've been stuck inside the crib all weekend. Eyes red, I think I'm looking, starting to see things, but I don't wanna see nobody but the weed man. Cause they can't relate. Emotional Novocaine, like painted on a smiley face. I wanna put some mannequins. Wanna share my mental, but it's not that simple. Cause they're gonna judge me, even if they love me. Just trying to have a good time, but I'm always the bad guy, yeah. I try to say that I'm fine, but I'm such a bad lie. Who could ever love a bad lie? Who could ever love a bad lie? How could anybody ever love a bad lie? How could anybody ever love a bad lie?
All right, y'all. So I hope you guys have a great night.
My job is to make.
I hope that I gave you guys some information. I hope that I didn't bore you guys too much, but the main thing I want to say, thank you guys for your support. It means a lot. It means a lot to people like me, that we are heard, but most importantly, that we are listened to. Bad Liar, I will get Elijah's link and I will put it in the description of this video. Y'all should listen to it and really, really listen to it. Beautiful song. And if you're dealing with that, you know what emotional Novocaine is. Right? We all know what that emotional Novocaine is. Bad Liar, y'all. Thank you, Remy. Again, I love you guys. I do. I respect you guys. Continue to be you. Continue to do you. I know I sound like a broken ass fucking record, but it is. Be you. And never, 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 never apologize for that. Be the change you want to be. Right? All right. Have a great night, y'all. I made camera up. I dyed my hair. It's not quite the color I wanted yet. But once I get it to the point where I really want it to be, Carla gave me some inspiration. And I'm thinking, I tried to do it pink, but it's a little too dark right now. I want it to be a little bit lighter. So I actually have to strip my hair. And I'm kind of scared to do that because I've never stripped my hair. So right now it looks a freaking mess. I'm not happy with it because I wanted to be on camera to do this live with y'all. But since you guys asked for me to come and talk about it, I just decided to do it. Okay. You think of dyeing yours red? Yes. Yes. I mean, I went through, I've never dyed my hair, y'all. My hair has never been dyed. So it's considered virgin hair. It's virgin hair. That's what they call it and shit. So I guess I got to de-virginize it. I don't freaking know. But yes, please vote on the next topic, y'all. Do y'all want schizoaffective disorder? Or I think I put bipolar. Okay. So please do that, y'all. And I will be back hopefully Thursday. Okay, y'all? All right. So yes, Carla, get that crimson red, girl. Hopefully my shit will come in the way I want it to come in. And we can go ahead and show our her, girl. Yes. Yes. And prayers for your mom, man. May she continue to be healthy. Okay? Continue. Everybody, love y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Again, be aware of your surroundings, y'all. And be wary of new people coming around you. Use the bleaching lifter. Okay. Because I've been looking, Carla, but it's like so many freaking steps. I need like just one step. I need one step. 14 years strong. Yes. Okay, y'all. Have a great night. Again, thanks for coming through, y'all. Love y'all. Okay, I'll go find bleach and lifter. All right, I got you. Okay, y'all. Have a good night. Carla kissed that beautiful, beautiful chunky baby for me. She is adorable. Oh my gosh, she is adorable. All right, y'all. Have a great night. Peace.